We are champions of Latvia at the start of the episode. Before we've even kicked a ball, we are champions. 20 points clear of second place Riga with about 2 games left to play. Today, we're going to be playing our final game, which is going to be up against Riga, which is actually a cup final. So, cup final time then, up against Riga. We are playing the 4-2-4 formation. You can see the starting 11 there. It's the regular starting 11 with Skinnz on the left-hand side. That is basically all we're going to do. Looking like Riga are playing Adjamani, obviously our former player who we sold to them at the start of the season. So it's good to see that he's actually getting some football. One thing I'm going to do in the next episode, which is going to be the start of Season 7, I think it's Season 7, I'm going to give you a rundown of what I presume will be our first team players in the next episode. That's going to be episode 0 of Season 7. We are 21 minutes in here, and we've got ourselves the first highlight. Pakoma Zazua doesn't manage to steal the ball off Tahi. Adjamani does, but Abdul Samad gets his shot away, but easily saved by Burkic. Is it going to be a continuation of the highlight? Burkic kicks it long over the halfway line, but Pesu controls it well. He's got so much space. Kevin Bossard was there. It's Frank Dow, nearly called him Salif Diao. It's a Frank Dow clears the ball. It is still 0-0. That didn't even count as a shot for Riga. Bossard with a free kick, 5 minutes left of the first half, plus probably a little bit of injury time as well. Frank Dow back to Kevin Bossard, the Frenchman. To Frank Dow, the Ivorian, now Mikolov. Abdul Samad can try and get past his man, finds Tahi, lovely through ball to Mihail Zhirkovs, and Mihail Zhirkovs gets his 6th goal back in Skinnz Academy colours, and it is a massive goal, because that could be the goal that secures us the trophy. We are in so many finals so frequently, I genuinely don't know what this final is for. It's either the Winter Cup or the FA Cup. I'm not sure what one it is. Does it say here? It's the Winter Cup. It's the Winter Cup final, which I think is kind of the equivalent of the League Cup. That's the way I'm seeing this. We are, unfortunately, not in the FA Cup final, though, because, we might have lost. Second half begins, obviously no changes, as you can see. Ali Al-Makani is struggling, and I suspect after this match we'll get a piece of news that says about the PSG, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, and a whole other bunch of massive clubs around the world. Their managers will be in the stands watching Ali Al-Makani, and he's not doing anything at all at the moment. Kevin Bossard has this ball, crosses it in, Al-Makani's there, flicks head, doesn't manage to get too close to the goal. Maisaradz is going to cross this ball in, hopefully. Down the left, little flick back to Maris Mikolov. Are you going to cross it? He's taken too long on the ball. He's managed to find Tahi, and what a save that is from the keeper. Very little he could do other than just chuck himself in the way of it, and he did manage to do so. It's going to be Maris Mikolov to take the corner. Left-footed from the right-hand side. It's towards Al-Makani, but his header clear. Is Bossard going to keep this ball alive? No. We're going to have a free kick instead. 60 minutes on the clock. It's Ali Al-Makani very far away. It's towards nobody. Al-Makani's going to collect this ball once again. Lots of space for Al-Makani and an absolute rocket. His 37th goal of the season. 2-0 up against Riga in the Winter Cup final. It's another trophy coming to the Skinnz Academy. That goal, annoyingly, has probably excited people like Jose Mourinho, and I think Antonio Conte was another person who was looking at Al-Makani. So, that's not great for us. Skinnz is going to be coming off. We're going to be bringing on Stefan Hagens, and then swap you two over. Sure, we'll do it that way round. Do we do any other changes? I have got Solihin on the bench. We are going to bring Solihin on for Frank Dow. He was the Indonesian player who we signed in January, and he's actually made his debut fairly recently. He's getting all right, actually. Final 10 minutes of the game, it is flying by. Adjamani's dropped down to a 5.9 against his former team. We've got one more sub to make. What are we going to do? We're going to do Melkomjans for Zommers because I want Melkomjans to be doing the cartwheel at the end. I don't want Zommers to do it. There it is then. The full-time whistle goes. And we are walking up very slowly to pick up the Winter Cup once again. In our lovely away kit, by the way. It's our away kit. I'm confused why there is only 4 substitutes walking up to pick this up. Are those 3 players came off the bench. So who's the additional man? Who is the additional man? I think it is Abdul Samad who is raising the trophy above his head. 2-0 then against Riga in the Winter Cup final. The green and purple ticker tape parade begins. And are we going to see Melkomjans do a cartwheel, or is it going to be somebody else? Is it Melkomjans? I think it is Melkomjans in position, isn't it? He's ready to go. Come on, buddy. There it is. Number 13 does the cartwheel as the ticker tape begins once again. It's another trophy in the trophy cabinet. So we've celebrated the double as we pick up the Winter Cup. Apparently this was Solihin's debut. I feel like he'd played before. No, he didn't. He was on the bench. He didn't actually play, but this was his debut. His first appearance, he picks up a trophy. We get a bit of cash. Fair enough. And there you go. It was Thomas Tuchel this time was watching Ali Al-Makani, who so far this season, there is still 2 more league games to play, has scored at 23 league goals, 37 goals in all competitions, plus 5 assists as well. I don't think we're going to be holding on to him for much longer. We're not quite at the end of the season, however, we do have ourselves a little bit of news here. The Europa League final has just taken place. Marseille, the team that knocked us out, finishing second behind Valencia. It was 4-3 on the final, but we are the biggest overachievers, which is 100% correct. First time ever in the Europa League, and we get all the way through to the second knockout round. Arguably, we could have done better against Marseille in the last episode as well, but it was not meant to be. We picked up 3.1 million plus 1.16 million. We've picked up 4.25 million, roughly, probably a little bit more from our little Europa League escapades. And Ali Al-Makani was the second top goal scorer in the entire competition with 13 goals. He was only behind Ignatius Ganago, who obviously scored probably 3 against us over the 2 matches. The season is now over. We've played our final 2 league games. We won and we drew with Riga in the final game of the season, but we did play quite a rotated side. Here we are then with the end of season review. 2 trophies, obviously the league and the Winter Cup that we have just won. What is worth talking about? Ali Al-Makani spent £450,000 on him, and I think we're going to lose him for probably less than that, which isn't ideal. He does still have 2 years left on his contract, but he has been absolutely amazing for us. Georgi Maisaradze as well, player we signed on a free transfer from Dynamo Tbilisi, actually was very, very good for us. Stefan Hagens, who we picked up from Riga, played a few games off the bench. Stipnikes as well, another player, played a few games off the bench. Yurkovs, 17 games, just the 6 goals for him since returning from his little spell over in the MLS and in Canada. And Solihin, who obviously made his debut earlier on in the episode, picking up a trophy. They were right with that. The big thing that I want to look at when we come to loans out is basically players who played well, scored goals, got a lot of matches under their belt. Rybak scoring at 6. We didn't really score a huge amount of goals, but I guess a lot of the players that we loaned out weren't really strikers, were they? Centre-backs, defensive midfielders, a couple of wingers going out on loan. So you can see there's a lot of matches being played by some of these players, not particularly playing well. Tolstoy's, for example, not doing particularly great playing in the Latvian Higher League, so the top league. But yeah, he's doing all right, isn't he? Season results, there you can see we win the league with just 1 defeat to our name, 30 victories. The 1 defeat as well was against Riga. We didn't beat Riga at all in the league. We drew and we lost. We did beat them, didn't we? We played them 4 times. We beat them twice. Ignore me. Ignore what I'm saying. Champions League, we get knocked out by Olympiacos. Europa League, we knock out Olympiacos. I mean, I'm not sure what I prefer. There, but we knocked out Olympiacos at the end. Obviously losing overall against Marseille, but we did manage to beat them 4-2, which did help massively for the coefficients. Latvian Cup, we got to the semi-final and lost to Valmiera 1-0. And then the Winter Cup, obviously we've won that one. They hated the fact that we got knocked out in the semi-final. We got most of the way there. Let's watch ourselves goal of the season then. It was scored by Stefan Hagens against Valmiera in the 88th minute. Ivanovs has it, plays it to Maisaradze, crosses it in towards Stefan Hagens on the spin, controls it with his right, blasts it with his left into the top corner. Cracking finish from the youngster and the new signee, I guess, from Riga. Finances, we're going up. Everything is going up, which is great, because if we're going up in sponsorship, broadcast revenue, arguably that's mainly Europe, but if we're going up in a lot of these, so are hopefully other teams in Latvia, and that's what we need to do to try and build this nation. Shirt sales, 416 of them. Troninkovs, Al-Makani, Stefan Hagens, Mikolov, and Yurkovs is in there as well, despite the fact he was only at the club for about 5 months. Frank Dow played 55 starts and 4 off the bench this season. 55 starts, 4 off the bench. Taihi, 52 starts, 3 off the bench. Smirnovs, 50 starts as well for Smirnovs. I didn't think I played him that much. For some reason, Juris Kramans is in there. He played 8 times and 6 off the bench. We played a lot of football. And we also scored a lot of goals. 38 for Al-Makani, Smirnovs with 19, Taihi with 16, Frank Dow with 9 from centre-back. He did score a hat-trick. Assists numbers. Look at those assist numbers as well. We score goals for fun in the league at the very least. I guess we kind of did it in Europe too. Bunch of awards then. Maris Mikolov is the player of the season. That's good to see. He is a proper Skinnz Academy graduate, winning that award. Signing of the season, obviously, is going to be Al McCaney after scoring 695 goals this season. Anything else of note? Maris Mikulov wins the most prestigious award there ever will be. Most clean sheets is Zommers, because he was our goalkeeper. Troninkov's 177 appearances. Yurkov's has 105 goals overall as well. Troninkov's, though, he is nearly 34. He'll be 34 come the end of next season, so he might be on his way out of the club eventually. I feel like we should probably try and shift him on to somebody else so they can make use out of him whilst he's still reasonably good. We've also managed to get ourselves a record points total. Frank Dow has, 20 assists? That's not Frank. Okay, you scared me then. It's Alsane Dow. He's not even mine. Why are you telling me? Was it because Herve Kouassi got it when he was playing for us? Fair enough. I mean, I thought Frank Dow got a load of assists then. Overall, best 11. Anybody new? I don't think. Oh, David Titov is the only new player to join the overall best 11 in that right back position. Eventually, he will get kicked out by the boss, Kevin Bossard, at some point in a few years' time. Listen up, team. We're winning everything. Again, we're winning the league. We should be winning the league from this point on until the end of time. We are the best team in the league by a country mile. We need to focus on Europe. What can we say? We'll be looking to reach the knockout stages. No. I think we just need to say that one. Good show. All we need is a good show. That's a sensible target. Thank you very much, Michels. Before we end this season, we will take a very quick look at the coefficients. We did have a look at them at the end of last episode, and they wouldn't have changed, but in case you missed the last episode, we are currently down in 26th, but we are picking up 5.125 from this current season, losing just a 0.875, so it was a massive, massive swing, and it means we will be moving up to 21st in the table, which is exactly where Norway currently sit. It doesn't mean anything for qualification places, but it means we are getting very, very close to the magical number 15, where we get 2 teams into the Champions League. One of them, which should hopefully be us, is going to be very close to being straight into the group stages, so that would be perfect. Also, while we're here, let's take a look at Latvia, because ultimately that is the goal. We need to be making Latvia the best team in Europe. It's going to take a lot of time. We have seen them increase in the world rankings. They start off at 137. Apparently, they're already up to 113. It's a reasonably steady climb up. They haven't qualified for any tournaments yet. I did notice, though, last season, they won 2 World Cup qualifiers, both of them against Belgium. They beat Belgium twice, 2-1, and then go on to lose against Albania and Greece and Sweden. So, I mean, they're not doing so hot, but picking up those victories against Belgium, the team that ultimately win the group with just 2 defeats to their name, both of them against Latvia for some reason, I guess that's an improvement. A few more days have passed, and this is interesting. This is not what I was expecting. We are undergoing a takeover. I don't know what this means. Is this like an internal takeover? It is a local investor, Vladimir Lizanovs, who's going to hopefully give us some more money. It does mean that Sabala's transfer to whoever this team are, Al Sayelania maybe, has been automatically rejected, and he hates that fact. That's lovely. But that is something we're going to find out in the next episode, whether that takeover actually goes through. As I mentioned earlier, next episode will be episode 0 of Season 7, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a rundown of all the transfer business that's taken place. I'm going to give you a rundown of what I consider to be the first team for next season as well. We're going to see what's happened with our takeover, and hopefully we're going to get ourselves one step closer to the Champions League proper, and ideally we want other teams in Latvia doing the same.